Good morning and welcome to our next edition of Cognition's AAC What's New, What's Next. I am really excited to bring on our guest today who is local to Santa Barbara, which is where Cognition is located. We've been working with Gil Addison and his team at PathPoint, doing some amazing things here locally with our app and with some new things that are going on at Cognition. So let's bring him on and hear what everybody's up to. Hello, good morning.
Hey, how's it going, Mailing?
It's wonderful. How are you?
Good, good.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I know that we've actually been working closely with your team and having weekly meetings. And so bringing you on live and sharing this with the community is just really exciting for us.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a pretty amazing journey so far. I mean, since we first met Andreas years ago with the Smart Stone, to now, it's just been an amazing pioneering experience in assistive technology in AAC.
Well, that's wonderful. And it has so much to do with you, Gil, and your background, and you really seeing the vision of what we could do together, collaborating and bringing these communities together. So I'd love to start with you sharing with us your background and history in assistive technology.
Okay, well, I work for a company called PathPoint, and we serve individuals in 5 counties. That's like Ventura, Los Angeles, Kern, Santa Barbara, and San Luis Obispo County. And we serve over 2,868 individuals at this time. And we have an assortment of different types of programs within our organization. I've been with PathPoint for 23 years. This 20 years of this experience has been in a day program called the Community Access Project Program. And we basically, in that program, we served a wide range of individuals with moderate to to severe physical disabilities. And this is where I discovered like the profound need of assistive technology for individuals, especially technologies to help them communicate. And so with that, I just started experimenting and researching and figuring out ways I could actually help somebody access the world at large. So with that, I started building different types of technologies, buttons, switches, adaptive low tech to high tech stuff, an adaptable paintbrush that is malleable and you can wrap it around your wrist. And so if a person had to open their hand, they wouldn't fall out. Just little things like that, all the way up to switch interface buttons that would control an iPad and move either forward or backwards to change pages in books and YouTube and all that type of stuff. So it's been a pretty amazing experience there. In 2017, I became the community integrations manager. And that was a promotion. At this time, I see that PathPoint saw all those things I was doing, and so they wanted to, hey, let's share it with the whole company.
Wonderful.
And so at that time, I was able to actually see the entire company and all the programs and see this like the tremendous potential that each program has and how AAC and assistive technology can really play a vital role in the lives of those individuals and give them greater independence. So that's what I've been doing.
It sounds like you're a maker, and do you know that term?
Yeah, I do know that. I'm a maker, creator.
Share with our audience. What is a maker?
A maker is just somebody who's thinking outside the box. For me, this is what a maker is a creator, an innovator. And it's just thinking outside the box of like, how do I challenge this problem? How do I find a solution for this desired outcome that maybe this individual has of just, being able to turn a page on the iPad by using a click switch or using an adaptive type of button that would work with accessibility features, let's say in iOS. So just figuring out things like that. How can I make it better? How can I just innovate and create and help somebody become gain greater independence?
I love that. And this is actually a thing now, AT Makers. They have groups in schools. I know Bill Binko personally, who is heading up AT Makers online, and he goes out and works with people. I hope that everyone watching is also plugged in. And if you aren't, check it out. We are getting together with high schoolers who love to do. They take their knowledge of basic engineering or just tinkering is a great way to put it. They love their technology, and then they're figuring out ways to help people, like Gil said, turn pages, open doors, open things. It's just incredible. So this just makes me so excited, Gil.
Yeah, definitely. We have actually been collaborating with the UCSB engineering department and a local high school, Providence High School, with their engineering department. They got it's been an amazing experience. I think one reason why the engineering departments like our environments is because you do have to think outside the box. You have to come up with new creative solutions. And so it's been an amazing journey there too.
Wonderful. Well, you do have so much experience, and I'd love to find out from you what you see as what's coming next in the augmentative communication space.
So should we go what's new or what's coming next?
Whoa, what's new?
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, it gets really exciting when you're talking about this stuff. So what's new? I think one thing that's new is like COVID-19, in a remote world that has thrusted us into an environment that we had to immediately start thinking outside the box. And then I think in these past 8 months, we have been just day to day trying to find solutions. So what's new, I think what I've seen in our organization with our individuals is that they, excuse me, they have been thrust into this situation with COVID-19 and remote learning and stuff. So this is the longest they've ever been apart from our day services. And so I've been thinking about like that evolution. So through that process, we've been figuring out ways to provide alternative services. How do we set them up at home? Do we, go into their environment, set them up with an iPad that mirrors to a TV set? And that way they can actually connect with us via Zoom. It comes down to training for staff at homes or facilities. A lot of the staff don't know how to operate these types of tools. Yeah. So now we have to think outside the box and how do we train our staff? And then there's a language barrier with training staff. So it could be Spanish or other languages. So how do we use Zoom to provide that type of training to get them comfortable with setting our individuals up with their technologies during the day? So that's kind of what's new in this environment. And then also reaching out to families and making sure that they are supported through this whole process with their sons or daughters. So those are just types of things that we have been working on.
Exactly. And we had talked about what happened with iOS 14, how that affected your staff and the communication devices that are already out there.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting experience. So I went over and one of my things, what I do for the homes right now is just go in and maintain their devices, make sure everything is running smoothly. And so I went in and I updated a person that I support iPad to iOS 14, and she uses a Tapio, or an instrument Tapio. It turned out that the Tapio firmware wasn't up to date with the iOS 14. And I think my heart dropped more than hers. Yeah. Because it was Friday, it was the weekend. This is how she communicates to her family and friends. I figured it out. We were able to send the Tapios back, order new Tapios. They're exchanging them for us with the new updated firmware. But yeah, little things like that are happening. I think just being able to always be on top of those little things, being at the cutting edge of knowing what information's coming in and out, I think is really essential at this time. Because everything's changing.
I think we have a love-hate relationship with Apple, right? It's like things are amazing, and then the updates come and everybody's scrambling for, does this still work? Does this app still work? I've actually lost a couple of apps over the years that I loved that the developers did not continue to update, to the newest iOS.
Yeah. I have, well, I wouldn't say it's a love-hate for me. It's a love adapt to.
Good. That's good. I like that.
One solution I've found for myself personally is just to become a developer, to get a developer's license and
Oh,
to use that developer's license to start testing out products and your technology as the iOS changes. It just happened that this Tapio thing happened right after the iOS. So yeah, sometimes I get a heads up, sometimes I don't.
right.
So,
That's so cool, Gil. All right, so now let's get to what do you see as next? What's coming in this space?
so yeah, what's next? I think Speak Pros is definitely the forefront application. I've always really liked Speak Pros. Because it combined like three platforms, right? It had gestures, it had tap, and then it also had eye gaze. So to find an application that has three platforms like that in
Yeah.
one app is a really rare thing. So I really see I see Speak Pros growing. You know, I think I just developing, getting better and better and better. I excuse me, I see Speak Pros as kind of the future of the technology. um, I know that like one experience I've had and I'm working through right now is with an individual we support. It was we she got her iPad. She got a brand new iPad first time, and I we asked her like, hey, what do you want to do with your new iPad? And so she responds, well, first I want to control my TV set.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then she said, and then I want to use it as a communication device in the community because it's
Mhm.
getting harder and harder for people to understand me.
Yeah.
And then when I thought back at that, like control and communication,
Yeah.
two vital things that we all want, right? We
Yep.
all really need in our lives.
Yeah.
I just thought like, wow, that is a really profound observation, or those that feedback from her. And then looking at the Speak Pros app and the new Speak Pros app of having that integrated with the Alexa,
Yeah.
it's going to allow her to have that control. It's going to allow her to have that communication device so that she can use it in the public. So I really see that as the future right now.
Thank you, Gil. I really appreciate you bringing that up, that the app is evolving and 3.0 should be coming out in the next week or two. We're so excited about this. And that is the exact wording that we're using, which is control, communicate. And then there's the piece of independence, right? Is that you want to be able to do it on your own. And then also having a sensitivity to, I don't know if you have an Alexa, but you don't want everyone in the room to know the questions that you're asking. And so the way that we have it integrated is that it can really be seamless. And so it's not an announcement to everyone, what questions you're asking of Alexa. But yeah, we're really, really excited. Thank you for bringing that up. There's a really good question in the chat here that I want to bring up, and it's from our Cognixion team. Can you talk about any of the emerging regulations and policies that are creating pressure for change in disability supports and independence? How is that affecting you and your team?
I think on that end, they are all trying to find solutions right now. So I think we've been actually pretty fortunate to have the funding to take our services into the remote world. So there are some challenges of figuring out where things are going to go and funding and things like that. But I think like let's say DDS is really looking at the future also,
Mm-hmm.
and listening to all the services that are out there and what those struggles are and how
Mm-hmm.
those struggles can be resolved. It's like I said, like at the start of COVID, we were thrusted into this whole new environment. So it took us it's taken some time to figure out. But 8 months, from then to now, 8 months, I think we've got a better foundation than we had at the beginning. And I really see that we're all coming together.
Yeah.
There's everybody, there's that people are saying we're all in this together.
Yeah.
It's really true. It's, as we look out and see all those different companies and resources wanting to find solutions, we are supporting each other in that advancement.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for catching us up on that also. I also want to thank you and your team that we've been working with closely in the last couple of weeks. We are moving forward with these exciting things that we're doing on the side of brain-computer interface and augmented reality. And Gil, it's just been incredible to work with you and the community that you serve. So I personally want to thank you, but I know this comes from the entire team at Cognition.
Thank you, thank you. It's been an amazing journey with Cognition, and it's awesome. Andreas is, I think, looking back at Andreas, is the story he shared about his mother and that foundation and that intent has really allowed Cognition to really flourish, because from that based intent of his mom to helping individuals with disabilities. I see that you still have Elizabeth on your website. I've always told Elizabeth, you're changing the world.
Yeah.
You're a pioneer. And so when I see that when I see that photograph of her on the website, she's still there. She's still changing the world. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
it's
Thank
it's
you.
an amazing fear. Thank you guys for all you're doing. And I think, yeah, thank you. Really, it's like it's amazing.
I know it is, and Susie, just I see her in the interview. Susie was able to be with us on one of our one-on-ones recently when we are doing an assessment, and it's just incredible. You know, like you said, these people they're the ones that are helping us to change the world because they're early adopters, they're fearless, they're curious, they're courageous. You know, just so many amazing things, and through their experiences and their feedback, we're able to continue to create and develop and hopefully bring something that is going to be quite amazing. So thank
Yeah.
you, Gil. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for the team. I see a lot of your peeps coming on and saying hello. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
PathPoint
guys.
Group. Yay. Yay,
Awesome.
Gil.
All
All right.
right.
Have a good rest of your day.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, so awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of Cognition's AAC What's New, What's Next. This has been brought to you by the Speak Pros app that Gil brought up, which we love. And if you want to know more information about it and the new things that are coming in 3.0, please contact me directly for a demo or to get professional access. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again next week.